Hi everyone, firstly thank you so much for clicking on my cover of December by Neck Deep. There's only a few days left of December now at the time of recording this, so I thought there's no better song to cover than this, one of my favourite songs ever, and this is the start of something new I'm going to be trying. A lot of you ask how do I play certain songs that I play on acoustic guitar, because some of them aren't naturally played on acoustic guitar. This one actually is, but whenever I do Neck Deep people always ask me how I play it, so at the end of this cover I'm going to show you how I played it this time round. I will put a little thing in the description if you just want to skip to that bit, but I'd really appreciate it if you did watch my version of this song, and I really hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching, and let me know if you like this little concept, and I'll do it with every song I cover. I guess that's how it works. Right, enjoy the cover.
You stumble around the block 1,000 times. You missed every call that I had tried, so now I'm giving up. A heartbreak in mid-December. You don't really care, you never remember me, while you're pulling on his jeans, getting lost in the big city. I was looking out our window, watching all the cars go, wondering if I'll see Chicago or a sunset on the west coast, or will I die in the cold, feeling blue and alone. I wonder if you'll ever hear this song on your stereo. I hope you get your ballroom floor, your perfect house with rose red doors. I'm the last thing you'd remember. It's been a long, lonely December. I wish I'd known that less is more when I was passed out on the floor. That's the last thing I remember. It's been a long, lonely December. Cast me aside to show yourself in a better light. I came out grieving, barely breathing, and you came out alright. But I'm sure you'll take his hand. I hope he's better than I ever could have been. My mistakes were not intentions. This is a list of my confessions I couldn't say. Pain is never permanent, but tonight it's killing me. I hope you get your ballroom floor, perfect house with rose red doors. I'm the last thing you'd remember. It's been a long, lonely December. Wish I'd known that less is more, and I was passed out on the floor. That's the last thing I remember. It's been a long, lonely December. I miss your face, you're in my head. There's many things that I should have said. A year of suffering, a lesson learned. I miss your face, you're in my head. There's so many things that I should have said. A year of suffering, a lesson learned. I hope you get your ballroom floor, your perfect house with a rose red door. I'm the last thing you'd remember. It's been a long, lonely December. Wish I'd known that less is more when I was passed out on your floor. That's the last thing I remember. It's been a long, lonely December.
So thank you so much for watching my cover of December by Neck Deep. As promised at the start of this video, I'm now going to show you how to play it. It's really quite simple, to be honest. There's just a few different chord variations on top of chords that you probably already know. So the intro riff is really quite simple. I'll show you my plucking hand in just a second. But as you'll notice here, I'm playing it on capo 3. Now my only reason for doing that, sorry if you can hear my dog barking by the way, is because it just sounds a little bit prettier, fits a bit nicer into my vocal range. Normally they play it with the capo off and in standard tuning. So I'm in standard tuning, but I've got my capo on the 3rd fret.
So the first chord is literally just a D shape, and this is how you're going to play the intro riff. Okay, and it only actually involves these two notes in the D chord, so not actually this third finger here. And what you essentially do is you just hit the D string, or the fourth string, depending on how you prefer to name them, then the B string or the second string, and then the G string or the third string. So that's your first riff. So as you can hear, that's the... And you do that twice round, so you go... Then all you simply do is you take your second finger here and replace the third finger with that on the B string on the second fret instead to make this shape, and you go over again in the same picking pattern. Like that, okay? So when you put it together, it sounds like this. Just like that, and then sped up. Okay, simple as that. So the first chord that the song comes into is a really nice chord. It's a D with a root note of a G, which you can play by pulling your thumb round and putting that on the third fret on the sixth or E string, the low E. Now obviously for me it's a sixth fret because I've got my capo on the third fret here, but when you strum that through it sounds like this. And the second most commonly used chord in the song is actually quite nice to alternate to from this chord because it's quite similar. It's that D suspended second, sorry if I get that wrong, but you know, you can see what the shape is. You don't need to know the exact name. D suspended second here, which is literally the same chord that we just learnt for the finger pricking intro. So you know how we alternated between that shape and that shape? It's that, but instead we put our thumb onto the F sharp here. The second fret, but for me obviously it's the fifth fret and an A here, but yeah, it would be I guess a D suspended second with an F sharp as the bass note. So you just slide your thumb down from the third fret to the second fret and change your D to a D suspended second, and that sounds like this. Again, a really lovely chord. Now in terms of strumming pattern, you don't need to be too rigid with this because there's a bit of a wall of acoustic guitar going on. You'll probably still sound fairly accurate, but I kind of do this down up thing, and every kind of 2 beats I make sure I put emphasis back on the bass note, just so you know which chord I'm playing because they're different variations of D a lot of the time. It kind of sounds like this when it's played slowly. So now if I bring that up to speed, it sounds like this. So for the verse, and if you watch my cover, you'll be able to more accurately see where the chord changes happen. It's pretty much a couple of lines per chord, and it just alternates between that D and G, and that D suspended second and F sharp. Okay, so it's fairly simple. At the end of the verse though, there is this kind of bit of a switch up with the strumming pattern, and it's really quite simple. It just goes... So I just do that by going down, up, up, down, like that, really simply. And it does it first of all on the D with the G as the root note. So it's like... And then it switches to the other chord. You'll notice in my cover I actually muted it. That's just personal preference. They don't do that in the song. So I went like this. Just to add a bit more emphasis to the bringing in of the chorus. That was literally my only reason. So this song's actually quite a nice and easy one for us to play. There's not really many more chords for me to show you, and some of them I'll be teaching you will be just how I played it, might not necessarily be how they played it. But in the chorus, I used just a normal D for the first chord, still following the same strumming pattern of the rest of the verse. Then over to the D suspended second that I showed you with a root note of an A, so it sounds a bit like a bit of a weird A really, a nice kind of open A. Like that. Obviously you can just play a normal A if you want and add the E back in on the D string. Then I moved over to B minor. Now for those of you who have a bit of trouble barring chords, this is going to really please you because whilst I can bar if I want to, I much prefer it when I don't, and it's so much easier on your hands. So with the B minor, I kind of just, as you can see, I bend my finger up and that just lets that first string, the top E string, free and becomes an E rather than an F sharp. And playing that through, it sounds so much more open, so nice, and it fits in really well with the other kind of nice open chords that we have going on throughout this song, like that. and then just over to a normal G. So just to recap, that's a D, and then our D sus2 with an A root, and then B minor with the open top E string, and then G. Literally just like that, and that is the chorus. So for the second verse, it changes up ever so slightly. What I found is that, you'll see in my cover as well, I held on the D with the G for twice as long as we did in the first verse. Then it moves over to a B minor. Again, I use the open top E string. Then quite quickly over to our F sharp with our D suspended second. And then back over to the D with the G as the root note before it goes into the kind of end of verse strumming pattern again, which is that. Like we learned just a minute ago. Then it's straight back into a chorus, which we've already covered, so you know how to do that. And then finally, there's that break. Now the break is really quite simple, and I'll show you why. It's all chords that we already know. So immediately you want to start on the D suspended second. I'm really going to hate myself if I've used the wrong word for that. It might be an A suspended something. I don't know. Either way, it looks like this no matter what it's called. So that's good enough, right? With the root at the F sharp, because that F sharp is actually the chord they want there. So make sure you get that root note in there. So it starts off there, then it goes up to a G, and I played the G with the D. Okay, then it goes over to a normal D. So make sure that you hit the root note as the D, the fourth string, and then it moves over to an A. And again, I played this D suspended second, A suspended something with a root note of an A. Just make sure you play that, but without the F sharp with our thumb, and use the fifth note as the root for it. So like that. Then goes round again, starting with the F sharp, then back up to the G and the D, but then just to the A. So no normal D. Okay, and then you just repeat that twice. The strumming pattern is a bit funky. Again, you can kind of interpret that how you want, but I played it like this. Hold my guitar for continuity. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the cover or found the tutorial useful, or maybe even both. If you did like it, please do leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here as well. And leave a comment. If you have any other songs that you want me to cover / teach you at the same time, then let me know and I'll make sure I do those. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this new concept. And also, yeah, if you did like it, let me know, because I'll just do this with every song from now on, because it doesn't even take me much longer. Bye!